welcome to my second movie review. The first one got a good amount of views, so I figured I'd keep doing these. Seeing they're getting some views up. So like I said last time, this time we're going to review this DVD of Gaiking. This is a very old anime, done in the 1976, it seems like. For those of you who don't know what it is, in anime there's a few certain people that have psychic powers. They're the only ones that are able to pilot these giant machines to help fight off the Zelans, who are an invading alien race trying to invade our planet because their planet is being sucked into a black hole. So they're trying to eradicate all life on Earth so they can colonize Earth. And the crew of the Space Dragon and Gaiking are the only ones that are going to be able to save us. As I stated in my last video review, I have a long history with this anime. It was one of the first ones I'd ever seen as a kid. So I was really hoping that this, watching it again, would actually live up to my 12-year-old mindset that I still had about the anime. And in some cases it actually did, and in others it didn't. One thing was, as far as the content on the DVD goes, I was kind of disappointed, because it does say, in very small print here, it does say episodic television series presented in 3 feature movies. So I figured this, it was only 2 discs, it was pretty small, 326 minutes total. So I figured the series must be really short. Like I knew nothing about the series, to be honest. And then watching the credits, after the first movie got over, I was watching the credits, and it gave credits per episode, and it was like episode 1, 2, 3, episode 12, and then episode 15 or something. And that, I was like, okay, well, this obviously isn't the entire thing. There was a lot on the DVD that I didn't remember from the VHS I remember watching as a kid. Partially, I honestly think it's probably stuff I just didn't remember it, or other things. It's probably actually new and different stuff. There's some distinct stuff I remember as a kid that I didn't see on this, so the content of the VHS tape and this are definitely 2 different things. The biggest one I remember as a kid, I remember the Space Dragon and Gaiking getting stuck in a space graveyard in this gravitational pole, and I was really excited to see that again, but it wasn't on this DVD, so I was pretty disappointed about that. The other thing, and I was disappointed in, and was to be expected, would be the voice acting. And mostly I was disappointed in the voice acting of this is because it's different than what I had on that VHS tape as a kid. I knew definitely right away when some of the story was changed, and also the main character was changed. In the DVD, he's still referred to as his Japanese character name, which is Senshiro, I think. And I distinctly remember him being named Ares in the VHS tape. One of the other things I didn't like about the story change was that he's a baseball player. Senshiro is a baseball player, and then there's an accident, quote-unquote accident, basically, that happens to him, and he's forced to join the crew of the Space Dragon and fight against the Zelans. I remember in the original one, he has that accident, he goes to a doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, you're not going to ever pitch again. He's like, screw you, I'm going to pitch again, I'm a baseball player, that's what I do. And he gets contacted by the Space Dragon people, and they're like, you're never going to be able to pitch again, you might as well just come work for us, it's going to be cool. And he's like, well, I'll try piloting your giant robot, but I don't think I can do it, because, I'm a baseball player. And then he fails at piloting Gaiking horrifically, and he goes out and he's like, I don't give a shit because I'm going to be a baseball player. Then he comes to realize that his career as a baseball player is over, and that he does have these special powers that he's going to be able to save the world with, basically, which I liked a lot better than what they did in the DVD and in the new voiceover work. Because basically they call him in, and he's like, yeah, you know, I think my career is pretty much over, so yeah, I can pilot your giant robot, no problem. I'll do it. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed really anticlimactic, I guess. Another thing they touched a lot more base on in the DVD, at least from what I remember anyway, is the relationship between Senshiro and Midori. Like, they're constantly talking about wanting to make out with each other half the time. They're like, oh, you know, I would really like to kiss you, but if it wasn't for this Zelen war, it was just acted really badly. I mean, I don't mind a love story in an anime. It can be the main focus, it can be a side focus, I don't care, but as long as it's like not overdone and cheesy, and that's pretty much all it was in this. After watching it, and after realizing this was a different voice acting crew that did this redub, I was really wondering when they dubbed it, because it was pretty bad. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was pretty bad. So I was really wondering when they did it, because I remember there was one of the episodes where they go to the Nazca Plains. I forget where that's at, but they started talking about the ancient astronaut theory. If you ever seen the History Channel show Ancient Aliens, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But I was like, really, they threw that in there. So this horrible voice acting can't be that old then, because I'm fairly certain that ancient astronaut theory hasn't been around that long. Like, maybe 10 years at the most, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an expert by any means, but I did think that was kind of weird that they had mentioned ancient astronaut theorists about the Zelens coming to pre-Earth, or ancient history of Earth. So I ended up looking that up on Wikipedia and found out this was actually done in 2005. 2005. This is pretty bad for being done in 2005. I would have forgiven like mid-90s, but 2005 is pretty unforgivable. I forget the director, but it sucks. For a 2005 anime, it's pretty bad. One of the biggest complaints about it, I honestly think they maybe paid the voice actor, especially the main character's voice actor, like, they must have paid him like $5 and said, here, do these voices. And by the way, we're going to need 3 generic screens for you to do. Because literally every time he gets into a fight, or every time his robot gets kind of the crap kicked out of it, there's like 3 screens that he does. And that really, it got kind of laughable. As far as the animation style goes, it's really cool. It's old. It's very old, but it's kind of classic. So I didn't mind the animation style at all. I thought it was still pretty good, pretty fun to watch. The storyline, despite some of its changes that I didn't like, was still pretty good. I think I had a lot of fun watching it just because, like I said, I had a long history with it. But for someone that was just going into it, unless you're a fan of old school animes, you probably won't like it. If you're a huge fan of the re-released Gaiking that was done in the 90s or whenever it was done, you might have fun checking this out. Also, if you're just a fan of older animes, or if you're a fan of just the original Gaiking, I would suggest picking this DVD up. It's not a bad thing to have. I think I paid $12 for it or something at Best Buy. It was worth its money. I had fun watching it. What I would really like to find is the entire series of this original anime. If I could find that anywhere, or if any of you guys know where I can find it, let me know in the comments or wherever, because I'd really like to get a hold of it. I'd really like to see somebody actually take the entire series, and actually dub it in English too. I can actually do a good job. Maybe Funimation or Gion or whatever anime companies are still around can actually do that. You should do it, because I'd buy it. Because I think it was supposed to have, there's literally a fraction of the episodes on here, because the whole series is like 44 episodes. Each one's supposed to be about 26 minutes or so. So I would love to see that. Other than that, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. I don't know what I'm going to review next. If you got any ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to leave any feedback or comments or anything else. Also, please check out my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter and subscribe to get more video reviews. Alright, see you guys later.